What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we need to get updated on Caspa because there's a little bit of drama happening on the YouTubes here and some very interesting behavior of the price line. And I also want to update you on what I have done with my own Kaspa swing trading. Now, first and foremost, this is definitely not financial advice. So get that out of your head right now. I'm just like you. I'm just a guy out here, just a squirrel who's trying to get that acorn and store it up for the wintertime for the long haul. Okay, first of all, before we begin, let's look at the price chart, and we notice that price has gone bananas. And we see that after this strong move upward here, I was thinking that we were going to correct once we hit the 50 EMA, which we now have a 50 EMA and a 200 EMA line. I expected price to fail the 50 and come down to the 200 and then take another surge upward. But as we can see, that didn't happen. We bounced off to the 50 EMA not once, but twice. And now we're surging up, making all-time highs. The peak price was nearly 0.007, and we're sitting at 0.00638 right now at this very moment. And as we zoom in on this chart just a little bit more, I'm going to go to the 1 hour so y'all can see this. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you where I jumped in and jumped out. I only traded a total of 100,000 tokens. I have maybe 2,500 left. But I purchased here at this point. This was at about 0.001591. And then okay, that's my sold point. Let's move backwards here. I'm saying this completely wrong. Let's clear out the drawing and scroll back. So here it is, way back here. This would be the area where I made my purchase. There it is right there. So now we're in the right spot. It's this little zone of trading here where I made my biggest purchase. There was a few before this point, up to this point, but the biggest bag was 66,000 tokens at 0.00591. Now you can do the math and figure it out that from 0.00591, and then you come up to this point here where I sold at 0.00. It was basically about 0.0041 and change. That we're talking 2.5x to 3x, somewhere around there. If I would have held on a little bit longer, I could have gotten to a clean 3x. But the indicators were lying to me. And so just like my man says in the comments, TA works until it doesn't. So it was working for me to get me all the way to this point right here. And then when we had that stiff rejection that went down, when you look at the 4 hour chart, we were clearly headed down out of the stochastic, and then it jumped back up. So we had these declining peaks happening, but it was a consolidation move, and then up we went again. So we never did get this correction going all the way back down to the base, which I was hoping for. I sold the entire bag and looking to pick it up again and triple up the amount that I have. And since then, the price has just gone up. It's just clowning me now, which is kind of making me mad. But you can't have them all, and you can't complain. I mean, I made a nice profit to be able to swing trade safely and go from here to here and sell. It's not every day that you pull in a 2.5x, so I cannot complain about that. Now, it's wishful thinking to say that you can call every top, because you cannot. But notice that where we're at right now is in price discovery. We're above all-time highs from the points I have plotted on this TradingView chart before the data was reported to TradingView. So at this moment, we do see a clear indication of a possible crossover right there, the stochastic. But we can see there was many fake outs. There was 2 fake outs there where it stayed up and kept moving upward into the overbought zone. And then we saw there was a fake out here. We had a touch and it just kept going up. And so right now, I don't know what's going to happen. The crossover says correction time. and that will float back down to this point of control price, but it could just continue to go up again. We don't know what's going on. And this is where I'm thinking something is not right, because under the current economic conditions and what's going on with the market across the board, I think the reason why we're seeing this go up is because of some manipulation by some strong hands, maybe the market makers who provide the liquidity to this thing to keep the trading going, which brings me to my next point. So I'm exercising caution and throwing up the caution flag, because since I started reporting on Caspa, I've been trying to poke holes in this and have not had much luck, because this seems like a great project with great fundamentals and a great set of token metrics. But as I admit, I'm not the greatest one with digging up into the fundamentals of projects. I only do the charts. I ride the gains in the charts and look for making swing trades. So this is what brings me to the next topic. There was a video done by Ryan Matta, and you can go check out the video. Here it is right here. And I would say it was pretty scathing. Let's get to the thumbnail so you guys can see what the thumbnail looks like.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Crypto Breakdown Layer 1 Blockchain Whiteboard Mini-Series. In today's video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about Kaspa cryptocurrency, aka KAS.
All right.
Let you in on a little secret. This video is for educational and...
So when you watch this video, you're going to see all of the due diligence that he dug up about the project. And it's very interesting. There are some things that he reports in a very negative light, and he thinks that this is a scam project, and he thinks that there are people who are manipulating price, and that it looks like it's going to be something that will be somewhat of a pump and dump. And he also said that the claims of the network speed are near impossible, and there's no way that any project can move or verify data through proof of work faster than the speed of light, is what he claims in this video. But let's go over some of the things that he was saying. I kind of summarized the points, and then I also have some information about a rebuttal that someone posted. And I have not decided one way or the other. I haven't formulated an opinion on who's right and who's wrong, but I'll share it with you and then let you decide. So he says that he went to the Reddit Caspa rich list from November of 2022, very recent, and that wallets 179 to 190 all hold 10 million in one Caspa tokens each, which he says is very suspect. And then wallet addresses 45 to 50 have 30 million each, which he also says is very suspect. He goes on to say that there is a Coin98 article that shows how you can send a big pile of pre-mined coins and send them all to multiple wallet addresses. But we know that Caspa claims to not have been pre-mined. The majority of people first heard about Caspa, he says, 3 to 6 months ago, and he's wondering how on earth that by November 1st of 2022, that there could be 171,784 wallets with a balance of 1 CAS or more. So then he goes on to compare to some other very noteworthy projects like Avalanche. The AVAX wallet downloads totals 93,988. And this is one of the largest layer 1 blockchains in the industry. Next, he talks about Harmony, which of course is a big layer 1 blockchain that only has 55,603 wallet downloads. Elrond, giant layer 1 blockchain, only 30,414. He talked about FTX, the infamous FTX, that only has 21,099 wallet downloads. Near Protocol has 32,994. And therefore, how can Caspa have this many wallet addresses in comparison to the industry giants when it's relatively unknown? So that's a valid question. And then he says, if there's that many wallets, why is it the Caspa only has 11,700 followers on Twitter? And it's only been there for 1 year. Now, the rebuttal to that, and I don't totally understand it, is that when you move Caspa tokens, it makes a new wallet each time, which I don't get that. Let me just I'll pull up my Caspa wallet. Let's just go to Caspa wallet, because when I move to and from in my wallet, I'm sorry, but it doesn't create new wallet addresses. I've been using the same wallet address since I started. So I'm going to log in, and you don't know what my password is. And let's see, available, none, because I've moved them all over to MEXC. But the point that I'm making by bringing this up, oh, I do have 2,243 left, just a small smidgen. And so the point I'm bringing up is that my wallet address has not changed, and it doesn't make a new wallet every time I move or sell. So maybe someone can explain that in the comments. That's just an answer I can't explain. So then he goes on to talk about on Social Blade how the monthly gain following for Caspa is at 0. Nobody's followed the project. There's no YouTubers promoting the project that have any major credibility. The GitHub account is not showing any activity, which I did get to the GitHub site, and it is because it's over on the Rust side, even though it's not that active. There's one guy here in the consensus who's updating some things, but it's not as active as what you see as some other, major projects. So that one I've kind of refuted somewhat. All right. Not much activity on developer sites, which that's the excuse is that they've moved to reprogramming in Rust. He mentions a problem with duplicate blocks. He also says there's no smart contracts and they're not coming until 2026. And how could 95% of the coins be mined before the smart contracts are even deployed? All right, so there's a response in the comments section from Mr. Blah Blah. And this guy claims, well, I'm not a big YouTuber, but I can answer some of the questions. So he claims that there was no pre-mine and that all coins were post-mine. Caspa was sitting on the sidelines for a long time, months before it was even listed on the first exchange, had small, dedicated mining community and OTC trading where large quantities of Caspa were traded for cheap as compared to the value now. There are surely huge whales in Caspa, as is the case anywhere else, but not due to pre-mine or pre-allocation, so he says. Round numbers on the rich list can be psychological thresholds. I don't know if I buy that. Or multiple addresses from one holder. Simply put, nobody knows, but also exchanges will be a large chunk of it as well. That being said, distribution of even something like Bitcoin was highly centralized at the outset. Fair launch takes time for distribution, and early adopters will come out on top, as in any crypto established so far. The second point he makes, the 120,000 addresses is correct. The reason is so many is simply due to the UTXO scheme. I don't know much about that. And the HD wallets. Don't know about that either. Check any crypto using HD wallets and UTXO scheme. This automatically generates a new address with each transaction. I haven't found that. No point comparing with cryptos using account-based ledger scheme. So I can't explain that. I can't say if that's valid or invalid. Number 3, hidden profits is totally right in what he says. Number 4, the GitHub issues are ignored because Caspa repository is not under active development anymore. It is stable, but is becoming deprecated in favor of a rewrite into the Rust programming language. Thus, it will include updated docs and a lot of fixes, as well as performance increase, and gives the address. And this is that address right here. I am on the GitHub site for Caspa. So that leaves me squarely in the middle. I don't know. I can't verify or nullify any of the points made for or against. And I can tell you that this price surge is just unreal, and I don't see any reason for it. We're not even using this for anything yet. So I don't know what could justify this price hike. I'm going to continue to report on this and watch the price. And if there is a correction, I'm going to jump back in and buy a bag. So what I would hope to see is maybe a correction, at least, I guess, best case scenario for me is a correction down to this 200 EMA, somewhere around this 0.0029 volume node. Golly Wally, we got this big node here now. We got a lot of price history where we're showing this node coming in at the point of control at 0.0041. So it could correct there and then just continue on up. I don't know. It's hard telling. Now let's jump to the 1-day chart and see what it looks like from here. Whoops, that's the 1 week. We want the 1 day. Here's the 1 day, just going straight up in the air. And we know that it just can't keep moving straight up. But notice this, how the crossover was about to happen and then the fast line just jumped straight up. So something's going on here. It's definitely not natural. And just like I said, when everything else, we got the market crashing, liquidity crisis happening, all the fallout from FTX, and Caspa's going straight up in the air. And this is not a project that's anywhere near being used and not being talked about. So I don't know. Well, if we do correct, like I said, if we come back down anywhere into this thick of volume node in the 2-ish area where these previous support lines are, these previous points, I'm going to buy back in and then ride the next wave if it happens. And that's not guaranteed because it could do something like this. It could go all the way back down to the ground. It could end up getting, decimated to zero. We don't know. So I wish I could shed light on this, but right now it still looks bullish because the stochastic is open wide up, pointing straight up, which means it could continue to work itself in a vertical manner. I mean, we could see these candles continue to do something like this, surging higher. I don't know. We'll have to wait and watch and see. I'll keep reporting it as it's happening. And if you know why this pump is going on or have some fundamental insight, hey, post it in the comments and educate all of us because I got nothing at all. So that's all I've got for now. I will keep you posted, and I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. I appreciate all of you being here. Appreciate your support. And with that, I will see you on the next one. This is Carlton, and I am out.